Welcome back to another episode of the Point After Podcast. We are your hosts, Caleb and Jay. Episode 27, man. 27 of them things in the book. A lot of things have been happening this past week and last weekend. Obviously, we're going to review the divisional round playoffs, but there's a few coaches that took some new jobs. Ben Johnson, unfortunately, is a Chicago Bear, and Aaron Glenn is a Jet. Happy for him. But Jay, man, how's life, bro? How you doing?
Doing good. Good collective week of football. Everything's just going on. But these matchups that came together were quite nice. But let's start off with the first game, Texans Chiefs. I'll let you handle this one. Start out. Go ahead. What you think of this game?
Nah, bro. I want you. This is your team. The Chiefs. This is your team, bro. I know you're a Chiefs fan deep down. I want you to take this one.
Hop off my dick already. I said go ahead. It's already go ahead. God damn. Since when the Chiefs was my team? Got it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Look, man. The Chiefs took care of business, 23-14. It was an okay game. I'm gonna be honest. When I was watching it, it was all right. It wasn't the most exciting game,
It
but
was boring as shit. That's what it was. Boring.
Bro, you fell asleep, bro?
Third quarter, easy money. I could have a little power nap.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's some few takeaways from this game. First of all, look, man. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, 7-0 now in divisional rounds, 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. Andy Reid is now one of 4 coaches to have at least 300 wins. I mean, hate to see it, but you love to see it at the same time. Look, I thought Patrick Mahomes in this game was okay. I mean, didn't really have to do a lot in this game, to be honest. Travis Kelce, though, turned back the clock. He looks like Travis Kelce. It's like we should just tell Travis Kelce now that it's the playoffs, and he'll just lock in. That's just like what he does.
Essentially.
Yeah, and then, but also though, I think obviously the big story for me in that game was the defense. Trent McDuffie and his All-Pro self was fantastic out there. He broke up 3 passes. Moving on to George Korloftis, he had 3 sacks and he was just dominant in that fourth quarter. Justin Reed, before he went out injured, thankfully that he's okay. It looks kind of scary at that moment, but he was great out there. 7 tackles, he had a pass breakup, and he blocked that field goal as well. And Texas kicker, I apologize if I mispronounce his name, Karat Fairbairn. I don't know how to pronounce his first name.
No,
dude, that dude had one of the worst. I mean, I feel bad for the dude, man. That got 2 field goals he missed, and then an extra point. Like that was tough. But go on, even more guys. Shamari Connor, 5 tackles and a sack. This Chiefs defense as a whole had 8 sacks on this game. Steve Spagnuolo was mixing it up with stunts and disguised blitzes all day long. And when he needed to be God pressure, Spags was Spags. So I'm not surprised the way, he was calling the game out there and the whole game. I mean, Spagnuolo was just incredible, man. He really was. The disguised blitzes that he does, the stunts that he designs as well for this defense. I mean, the guy's incredible, man. He's one of the best defensive coordinators of our generation. I mean, the guy's incredible. And the Chiefs, really, what they've done the whole season, it's been their defense that has carried them the way. And when it comes down to it, like Mahomes just has to make a few plays, and that's pretty much the game. So credit to the Chiefs. I mean, they just keep winning, man. Like the 3-peat's gonna happen. I'm gonna be crying in my room. It's gonna be the worst day of my life. But it is what it is. But I want you to handle the Texans because your boy CJ Stroud, man. What's going on with that, bro?
Well, I mean, this was expected, but you look at the team as a whole. They don't have an O-line right now. They've given up way too many sacks, not only in the game but just on the year in itself. Joe Mixon, he had a decent game, 88 yards and a touchdown, but you can only do so much being a running back. Nico Collins, the only wide receiver there to help Stroud, along with bad pass protection. You can't exactly get nowhere with that. And in playoff and in crunch time when players are playing their heart out and your team is not up there on their level, Chiefs are apex predator. It's levels. That's what it is. It's
It's levels,
unfortunate.
bro.
It's unfortunate, but Texans, at least you know exactly where you need to improve. You got to go O-line. You're going to get Tank Dell back, but Diggs may go elsewhere, so you may want to look at adding another weapon as well. But just, a lot of injuries, and then, Bobby Slowick isn't the greatest thing in the world either. It's very vanilla, very formulaic, nothing too crazy, and it's just nothing that can really open up the Texans offense as it should be, because they should be a very explosive offense if you think about it.
100%, man. I'm just looking at this right now. Bro, Travis Kelce, bro, 7 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Bro, I thought this dude was washed, bro. I thought it was over for this dude, bro. No,
I think,
still Kelce.
well, I don't even know if it's a theory or anything, but my thing is like he started slow maybe on purpose in the regular season, and like he wanted to conserve, because we know how NFL players are. They go hard, extremely hard during the regular season, burn their bodies down. By playoff time, look what happens. They're either drained, tired, and they can't produce the numbers that they were producing in the regular season, or they just can't play at that same energy, with that same explosiveness, or however, with that same speed, whatever their advantage is, right? So you kind of have to look at it like that, where Kelsey's probably like, we're undefeated, we're winning these games that we shouldn't even be winning.
I could just coast.
I'm gonna take plays off. Exactly, I'm a coast. It's I don't want to say he's purposefully coasting, but like if you're trying to conserve your body, I don't blame you.
100%, man. Shout out to the future first ballot Hall of Famer Travis Kelce. But
Man,
to kind of cap it off with the Texans, I'm going to piggyback off the Joe Mixon point. For me, Joe Mixon, arguably was the best player on the field for the Texans. And the first
100%.
half, they were going to him a lot. In the second half, they didn't really feature him as much. And I tweeted it out when the Texans beat the Chargers in the wild card game. If the Texans were going to go on a run, and if they were going to shock the Chiefs, Joe Mixon was going to have to be the key. In the first half, he was really good. Second half, I know they were down, but second half, the fact that he wasn't as involved in much to me was shocking. And you talk about Bobby Slowick. There was a lot of excitement and hype around Bobby Slowick last season because, C.J. Stroud's rookie season and how he played and overall that offense. But this year, he's been found out.
And if you got to think about it, how much of last year was on just C.J. Stroud in itself. Like a lot of it could be on the player and over outdoing the own coordinator.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, he's just been found out, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can't adapt, bro. Like they've had this issue of running the football this whole season. They haven't been able to fix it. I mean, special teams, dude. It was just they were absolutely terrible today. I already talked about the kicker Fairbairn missing those field goals in that
terrible. Terrible.
I just think you look at this team.
I feel like it's inexcusable.
100%. Like I think you look at this team.
I'm sorry, but like kickers, like you have one job as a kicker. Like you have one job. I don't care like what type of weather it is. You get paid millions of dollars to kick a football. Yeah. You have one job. And if you can't do that job, you're fired. Like for example, Jake Moody, he needs to be off the team, but he's not. Sorry, keep on going. But
I was gonna say, man, like just looking at this Texans team moving forward, I just feel this is a team with a lot of young talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We know about Will Anderson. We know about Derek Stingley, right? Jalen Petrie,
top corner for sure.
Yeah, Jalen Petrie, the safety who was hurt, got hurt during the season. He's going to be a piece for them moving forward. And then you got guys like Aziz Al-Shaair, Danielle Hunter as well on this defense. So it's a defense with some young talent, sprinkled with some experience. That is going to be really good moving forward. But clearly the offensive line and this team just has to be able to – like they can't be just one-dimensional offensively. They have to fix that. Bobby Slowick has to be better moving forward.
100%. Let's move on to the most exciting game, the most talked about game, the most surprising game. The rookie of the year, Jayden Daniels.
JD!
Yes, sir. Jayden Daniels, man.
Must be our quarterback.
That's right. We picked the guy to win. I mean, we got the faith in the guy. 45. They put 45 on Detroit's head. to 31. Oh my goodness. Jared,
Man, that dude's
and
special,
man,
bro.
let's before we get on the Jaden Daniels train, talk about how great Jaden Daniels played and all that crap. Let's talk about the Lions first. Let's talk about this Lions teams first. I'd say the biggest hype disappointment of this season, considering how highly they were regarded, considering they were in, including mine, many Super Bowl predictions, right?
Yeah.
The powerhouse offense, a lot of injuries, but you can't excuse Jared Goff throwing 3 interceptions. Granted, a lot of majority of his picks came after that first interception. He took that big rip, but it's absolutely no excuse.
Nah, he got cracked, bro.
Yeah, no, and he hit the back of his head, but he got cleared to come back in.
Yeah, he
So
did. He did.
so he then threw 2 more interceptions. So
He was seeing ghosts.
yeah, it was bad. Jameson Williams, not too hot of a game, I would say. A slight mistake, a pass that was very much forced. Also, a play call that wasn't really needed, in my opinion. Not a dumb
Who's
play call, but it wasn't needed.
who called the play?
That's Mr. Ben Johnson.
All right, cool. Just making sure.
Hey, anytime I
Bears fans
regard
know that was Ben Johnson who called that. Okay.
that was Ben Johnson, and it was a very quick signing after a real hard season with a real team he loved. I'm just saying. But Jahmyr Gibbs is the definite light and future of this team.
Oh yeah.
I think they noted he's going to be like the starter going out, like forward, even with Montgomery coming back. I think he will be the lead back here, getting majority of the carry. Excuse me, 14 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, also 6 catches and 70 yards. I think you need to give this guy a contract. Like lock him up, ASAP Rocky. Yeah, because good running backs who could good running backs who are a dual threat are very hard to come by, and I think you just need to secure that. But Jahmyr Gibbs, looking into next year, is very good light for the Lions, including Amon-Ra Brown. I mean, he did all he could. But there was just mistakes, and the defense couldn't exactly hold up, my boy. Jaden Daniels. Caleb, I'm going to hand it off to you. Talk about Jaden Daniels and the Commanders with this trip to the NFC Championship.
Jaden is special, man. But to kind of piggyback off what you said about Jahmyr Gibbs, no doubt the whole running back tandem of him and Montgomery, no doubt Montgomery should continue to be featured. But Jahmyr Gibbs needs more and more reps though, because Jahmyr Gibbs, that's special.
It needs to be like 60-40 of carries for Gibbs. Damn near, I would say 7.
Maybe 70-30.
I was the best 70-30. I would for him. I mean, it's just you just got to give him. He's the production.
Yeah, but moving on to the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jaden Daniels.
Hey, I'm gonna say it right here on this pod. If Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl, I'm buying his jersey. Just as a personal. Just as a personal.
That was kind of crazy glaze, bro. That's
glaze. Yeah, no, it's glaze. Hey, at least I could predict something right. I mean, I don't know what you tried to predict regarding Minshew this year, but talk about aura. But yeah. Anyways, as you were saying.
Look, Jaden is special, man. I mean, we already knew that. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? He nearly went through 300 yards. Wait, hold on, bro. Pause it. Just some shit popped on my screen.
Facts. No, I got it.
Look, let's just talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jaden Daniels, man. I mean, this guy, nearly 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, an overall rating of 122.9. This guy is different, man. And you know what? It was really interesting because I was kind of just scrolling through Twitter, man. You know, just kind of chilling, strolling around, you know, like I do. I found out this dude, Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury was talking about it, that he does like this virtual reality, like VR, like training where he's able to like sense like the pocket pressure, and he like puts himself in real life situations, and that's like helped him become like super calm in the pocket, and that's just different.
Right,
Like that's
right,
just different, bro.
right.
But Jaden Daniels was great. Austin Eckler, I felt, was definitely the unsung hero though in this game. Six carries, a little over 40 yards, but also caught four catches for 40. But he was definitely he was good in this game. Another guy, man, De'Ami Brown, man. Like these last two games, bro, he's been balling, bro. 11 catches, 187 yards. We all know about Scary
Absolute
Terry.
disgusting catch though. Like,
Oh, that
hold
was
on,
crazy.
from
That
down
was
around
crazy.
from midfield, and I just wanted to touch on like how calm, cool, and collected Jane Daniels is in the pocket. That was a blitz, by the way. I forgot who was blitzing off the left, or I think it was the left side. It was off the left side, and right in his
Mm-hmm.
face, he just slings it, flick of the wrist, and it just right in the basket, and he had his eyes covered too. So I mean, incredible catch, incredible throw. It's just crazy the momentum the team is carrying right now.
100%. And Jaden Daniels right now, I mean, respecting Matthew Stafford, respecting Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels is the fifth best quarterback in the game. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Let's
I
call a
mean,
spade a spade.
call a spade, man. Andrew Luck, he broke Andrew Luck's record for most yards in a game, by a rookie, like in the playoffs.
Hey.
He tied Big Ben for most wins in a rookie in an entire season
Including
with
playoffs,
14,
right? I
including the
mean,
playoffs, man.
if he gets another one, that's great. I mean, just like I was texting Caleb about this the other day or whatever day I was texting you,
A few days.
literally a few days. But the narratives, if Jaden Daniels, like, if he wins the Super Bowl, it's a whole nother narrative. But if he could even just get to the Super Bowl, if he wins the NFC Championship, the narratives are going to
That's
be
different.
discussing. And I feel like the
That's
quarterback
different.
market is going to change like significantly, like looking at
Bro.
talent specifically.
100%, man. And, well, it's rare. Well, first of all, I mean, when you're in a conversation with Big Ben and Andrew Luck, in any conversation, that's a good thing. Those are two great quarterbacks. We all know what Andrew Luck what he would have been if he didn't have the injuries. We all know.
And if he stayed and played, and right.
100%. But you talked about his demeanor. Like Dan Quinn talks about it in postgame. Like how calm he is under pressure is rare. It's unlike anything you've seen from a rookie quarterback. Like, I mean, he just had one of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen, man. And
100%. It's up there with 2012 Russell Wilson, in my opinion.
it's up there like a Big Ben, Andrew Luck, RG3. You can go
It's
through.
crazy.
You know?
I mean, to take a team that were absolutely terrible, were considered in no conversation of even contending, possible playoff berth, maybe at the absolute best was the ceiling for predictions. And this team just inside
Crazy.
joke if you know where that's from, but they just completely bursted through the ceiling. And I can't honestly, for me, the more exciting thing about looking into all this is what they look like next year. That's something to look forward to. If they make the right moves, a team could really downplay itself and really mess itself up in itself. But if Commanders make the right moves, they're a contending team in the NFC for a long time, like the Lions right now.
100%. And I want to go back to the Lions because I'm sure a lot of Lions fans, especially with the next topics we're going to discuss with their coaches, it's not a great time to be a Lions fan right now.
It's absolutely terrible.
I think you just look at this team, right? Like they brought over Zadarius Smith, and now we know he's not Aiden Hutchinson. We know he's not that guy. But Zadarius Smith was brought in to be a good pass rusher. And moments like this where he was supposed to play at his best, this guy was a complete non-factor. I don't even know he was on the field in that game. They lost Amik Robertson and prayers to him because that injury, they said he had a broken arm. That injury, it was devastating. And prayers to Amik because he is a former Raider. And I want to see him succeed because the Raiders probably should have kept him. He was solid for us last season.
Oh, yeah.
But just talk about Jared Goff, man. Like, this guy just might not be good enough. Like, how he might not be good enough. Like we always view Jared Goff as
good, not great.
100%. Like, he's good, but is he good enough? Like, is he that guy?
Can he get you over? Can you get you over that hump?
100%, man. You just can't have 4 turnovers in a game. And we saw some weeks ago where he had what? Did he have 4 picks? Like, was it
4 or 5? Actually, 5 almost. I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't have these kind of games in these moments. And I think as Jared Goff continues to get older, and we all know his mobility, he's never been a mobile quarterback. But now as he gets older, like you got to start considering, like, you know, you might have to make a decision whether you're going to take a
Hey,
quarterback.
I would also put this in mind. Like, you look at that O line, and I would be like, I wonder what would it look like if a mobile quarterback was behind that O line
Oh,
with a freaking cannon of an arm. I wonder how you could let him develop even his mobility, because he could have so many choices on what he could do. But just a thought.
yeah, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them to replace those two coordinators. It is going to be hard, and I kind of feel bad for Dan Campbell a little bit because I mess with Dan Campbell, man. There's no
We
doubt. He's
do
one of
mess
my
with Dan
favorite coaches.
Campbell. I think he should still win Coach of the Year, in my opinion. But
yeah, and the way he's built that, talk about a culture builder. He's been that in Detroit. Took that team when they were absolutely dog shit, and look what they've become in these last 4 years now. He's been 5 or 4 years.
4. Yeah, 4.
4. And for him after the game to be so emotional and say that it's his fault, it's not his fault, man. Like, at the end of the day, like,
you love a guy for being accountable, though. But
100%. But
yeah,
it's not Dan Campbell's fault, man. It was just they just ran into Jaden Daniels, and Jared Goff had an all-time stinker.
Mm-hmm. It's. I mean, and they put up 45, man. Like, that's
and the Lions put up 31 points. That ain't bad.
For the amount of turnovers they had, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Let's go on and talk about the next game we had on hand here. Rams and the
Matty
Eagles.
Ice.
Oh Lord. So Eagles take the cake, 28-22. They're gonna move on. And it's gonna be the Eagles and Washington. Before we hop on this game, it's gonna be Eagles Washington next round. This is how do you think
Eagles are gonna win?
Out?
Eagles
are gonna win. Okay.
They're gonna win.
All right.
They're gonna win.
All right. I still got faith. I'm picking Commanders on that one. But in this game, just momentum. I just feel like in my canonical mind, momentum. When has this last been done by a rookie? And I looked at this game in itself, and I was just like, your main focus is one, to primarily stop Saquon. Is that possible? I don't really know, because this dude is just on a complete and utter tear.
No.
200 yards and 2 touchdowns is absolutely disgusting. A 78-yard touchdown to the house and late in the 4th. But you look at Jalen Hurts' game, he didn't have to do too much. He just had to complete passes. He had to be essential. I'm not calling him a game manager. He just essentially had to be that. He did have a nice 44-yard touchdown, rushing touchdown, but it looked like Rams just gave him that one, in my opinion. I don't know. It looked like Jalen was just jogging that touchdown, in my opinion. But all credit to Saquon. He is the literal MVP of this team. He carries his team on his back. I've been saying it all damn year. But we'll see if he could keep this up going into the NFC Championship, Caleb. I mean, it is 26 carries, by God. I mean, it's a lot. It's just a lot. You know what I mean? But the defense in itself is absolutely disgusting. I feel like just on paper and on well structured, Eagles got the best defense out there. Their D line is absolutely ferocious. Zach Bond has definitely put himself in that upper echelon of the linebacking crew.
Top five.
Absolutely. No, that's what I mean. And when have we heard Zach Bond's name? You know what I mean? But this year, he has been all over the stat sheet. He has been all over the field. This dude is making plays. He's taking names, and I'm pretty sure soon he's going to be cashing checks. But tell me, Caleb, what's going on? What happened? What was the downfall in this game with the Rams team, unfortunately?
Well, the downfall is that the Rams don't have Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's their downfall.
Yes, sir.
Saquon is, bro. This clearly showed you that if you put an offensive line in front of Saquon, he's arguably the most dynamic player in the game.
Even in front of the quarterback. Because you look at Jaden Daniels, he was 15 for 20. He didn't miss too many of his passes. He only had to complete so many. And he hit all of his passes, and he did what he had to do.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts, for me, he still doesn't –
Subscribe, motherfucker. Free Taki ad. Shout out Taki.
Bro. Why does this always happen? I'm telling you, bro, that's the last time, bro. It's over. It's over.
It's over.
Raiders logo, man.
It's over for the Raiders logo. just like you guys' draft night, completely over. Like I don't know what you guys are gonna do. That's crazy. All right.
Look, man. I'll talk. I'll talk about Jalen Hurts. For me, he got hurt in that game. I believe he hurt his knee. Correct?
Yes.
I think I might have missed it.
Yeah, no, I didn't miss it. It like kind of bent a certain way. I think one of the linemen landed on him. A little
Yeah.
awkward.
Well, yeah. He doesn't. Yeah, he didn't look 100% in that game, which is definitely gonna be something to talk
And
about
even
moving forward.
no, I heard today, just as a report. Not bad, my bad to cut you off, but he said he's working back towards it, but he's feeling better. But he said
That's
he'll
good.
see about it.
Yeah, because if they have to go to Kenny Pickett, then I think we might see the Commanders in the Super Bowl.
Bills Commanders Super Bowl.
It's gonna be the Chiefs, dude. I'm telling you, it's the Chiefs.
No.
We can't deny this shit no more, dude.
No, I'm not putting that out in the air, especially when what Josh Allen shown me earlier in that matchup against the Chiefs. I rewatched that. They can beat him again. I know the refs. I know the whole refs and their bullshit. I know Mahomes and how he, slows down and everything and all that whoop-de-whoop. They got Kelsey, whatever, right? At the end of the day, or at the start of the day, at the start of the day, Bills could come up with the dub just like they did. It's not impossible.
Nah, well, they could. They definitely could.
Especially
anytime we got Josh Allen, he got a chance.
Hey, honestly, I would just give 22 carries to James Cook and say la vie.
He's that guy, bro. He's that guy. But back to the Eagles. Jalen Carter on that defense was just a man amongst boys. The fact that I continue to say it, I was talking about my pods about this yesterday, bro. How Jalen Carter slipped in that draft is just beyond me. Still to this day, I don't get it. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. He had 3 quarterback hits, and
he came up. He came up late in one, right? He had a real
he's
good
even out there deflecting passes, man. I mean, he forced that fumble early in the third quarter. He had that sack into the game where the Rams center just completely forgot how to block.
He just didn't know what to do. Apparently, like
he hit him with a spin move, but it was like, come on, bro, like really, that was kind of weak. But Jalen Carter was just dominant, and Darius Slay, man, like
shout out Darius Slay, man, he be locking these boys up.
Darius Slay, man, he had a few pass breakups, and he looked like prime Darius Slay there, and he still got some juice left in the tank. And you talked about Zach Bond, he's been incredible since coming over from the Saints. He didn't play that much in New Orleans because they went with Demario Davis and that P. Warner linebacker.
Rightfully so. I mean,
yeah, but still though, how Zach Bond just went from a guy who wasn't featured much, and now he's an All-Pro.
Yeah,
Pro Bowl. It's crazy, man. But the Rams, look.
I mean, dude, they got their new Aaron Donald. I mean, it's not exactly Aaron Donald, but Jared Verse, man, is personally, as a Niners fan, I am scared as divisional future matchups play out. Honestly,
bro, nervous already.
Yeah, just because he's only gonna get better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and he's only gonna progress from here. And as much as I hate the team, you got to give him credit for drafting so damn well. They got a guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. And talk about the Rams because I look at Stafford and it's kind of similar to Goff, where obviously Stafford for me is better than Goff. That's not a discussion. But
yes,
I just think you look at similar to what I said about Goff, though. It's like moving forward, especially with Stafford as he continues to age. It's like he's good, but like with his lack of mobility, especially in a weather like that, like when the weather was just terrible, snow and rain and crap, it was bad.
And my bad to cut you off, but if you look at his 2 fumbles in itself, his mobility literally caused the fumble. He wasn't too mobile. He couldn't hand it off. He wasn't fast enough, and he couldn't. His coordination. He didn't have any balance.
Yeah, and that's why again and McVay loves Stafford, and understandable.
Rightfully so. Like, you won a Super Bowl with him.
But again, it's the same question. Like, with his lack of mobility, are we going to be able to get where we want to go with Stafford moving forward? Like, he can still throw the ball with the best of them. But, bro, if you don't have much mobility in today's NFL, bro,
you're not going to get.
You're not going to hold that trophy at the end of the season. Like, you're just not. We've seen it. It's a new era of quarterback. play.
It is.
And again, respect to Stafford though, but it's facts.
It's a whole new game. There is no more Tom Brady's. There is no more Peyton Manning's. There is
Drew
no more
Brees.
Brett Favre's. Drew Brees's. Drew Brees was so accurate, by the way. But yeah, there's just none of those guys no more. You have to move. Even Brock Purdy's mobile to a sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have a mobile guy. You got extend the plays, offset. You gotta keep shit alive.
100%. And Kyron Williams, I thought he was good as well today.
I mean, it's nice to finally for the Rams to have a running back. They haven't had one.
Yeah, Todd Gurley, right?
Todd Gurley. Hey, shout out Todd Gurley. He was such a dog.
Yeah, beautiful. But Demarcus Robinson, again, a former Raider, he was good in that game, man. Shout out to Demarcus Robinson, 74 yards. Hey, you talked about Jared Verse. He ain't Aaron Donald, but he's the next Rams. He's the next dominant
guy. D-line. Yeah,
he's the next guy. I mean, he was fantastic. A couple of sacks, a couple of QB hits, and tackles for losses as well. He was just dominant. He was good throughout the game, but that first half he was dominant.
Yeah,
and you're right. He's a future All-Pro.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's like I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald or anything. No, I'm saying it's nice for them to have an immediate impact and to have him fill that void.
100%. I think what hurt the Rams was a little underrated that a lot of people didn't really talk about is they lost Braden Fisk, the rookie D tackle. He got injured early in that first quarter.
Yeah,
he's their interior guy. He leads the team in sacks, and for him not to be out there, look, I'm not saying he would have had a big impact in stopping Saquon Barkley like that, but you missed his presence there, and it clearly left a gap with them up front. And we all know how good the Eagles' offensive line is, and if you're missing one of your best interior linemen, it's not going to be good. So,
right.
But just to kind of cap it off, man, I mean, at the end, I mean, both these offensive lines weren't impressive, to be honest. But I'm looking at this Rams team. It's a bright future. Now, again, I talk about the quarterback position. We're going to see how that plays out. But this Rams team has a lot of talent on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then let's go on to the last game before we talk about some coaches here. Ravens and Bills. Bills. You're one step closer. Josh Allen's one step closer to finally writing all that crap off his name. I mean, Lamar still got all the stain. That's unfortunate for Lamar, though.
Damn.
But I honestly don't blame this on Lamar. It's not all on Lamar. At the end of the day, he came through and he did what he was supposed to do. But he did throw an interception. And it's just those costly things. It's like it's just the little things, right? But then again, you had Derrick Henry. You didn't have Zay Flowers. Your defense is one of the top in the league, in my opinion. So I don't know. What can you give this guy an excuse?
You talk about the Ravens defense, and shout out to Zachary Orr, their defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and one of the youngest. I think he might be the youngest defensive coordinator out there, former player. But I think he's going to be one of those guys to watch out in the next few years as far as coordinators, getting some head coaching looks. Lamar Jackson early didn't look great, 100%. But as the game went on, especially that second half, he looked like Lamar. And this Ravens offense was able to move the ball down the field. But for me, this game, I tweeted it at the end of the first half. The Ravens lost this game over turnovers, just straight up miscues, drop passes, interceptions, fumbles. Because when the Ravens were locked in offensively, they were able to move the ball with ease.
Mm-hmm.
They just made too many mistakes. Look, I mean, Mark Andrews fumbles twice. We saw the one that was early in the fourth over the middle of the field, how he fumbles that, and then how he drops that 2-point conversion lock. How he drops that it's beyond me. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. He's one of the great tight ends in the game and one of the best in Ravens history, but that is one of the worst drops I think I've ever seen.
It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to bash him though, but that was crazy.
That's bad.
I was kind of talking about this too with my pops as well when I was watching the game yesterday. I think this Ravens team, they missed Zay Flowers out there. They definitely missed that deep threat, that connection that him and Lamar have, the fear that he can put in secondaries on the opposing defenses. I think they definitely missed that today. They missed just overall what he brings to the table. And again, it just comes down to just mental mistakes with this Ravens team, man. For me,
and it's
they're
and
the
it's
better
and
team.
it's and it's absolutely. But this is continuously in playoffs for Lamar. That's my thing. It's like,
Yeah.
when are you gonna show up and do right by those mistakes you did previously and move on forward? Because how many pieces on your team do you need now? Do you need a top 5 wide receiver? Is including Derrick Henry? Like, what do we need here?
Yeah, I mean Lamar is what now 3-5 in the playoffs.
And I know everyone and their mama and then their grandma and then their great grandma after that says quarterback wins just don't matter. At the end of the day, they do, because they hold majority. They kind of hold the game in their hands at the end of the day sometimes. And when you look at context, Lamar has had a lot of miscues in the playoffs. He hasn't played well. He has shown that time and time again. If you can't show up on the
Yeah,
big stage, and the big stage is a real thing, you feel I'm pretty sure they feel the pressure of a bigger game and the atmosphere it is. So if you can't show up, you're a great
yeah.
regular season quarterback. You're an MVP. There's no disregarding that. Lamar's one of the
So wait,
greatest
so Lamar
quarterbacks.
Jackson is the James Harden of the NFL.
Yeah, I feel like that's even a diss.
Ah,
But he doesn't have a championship now, does he?
look, man,
Ah,
look,
yeah, I guess.
it is what it is. I mean, the interception you're talking about, when he oversold Bateman. I mean, I was just like, what do you see, Lamar? Like what?
Yeah, that's
And then the fumble he had, it was like he was trying to escape the pocket and he like falls down, he just loses the ball, and it's just like,
just
look,
mental
mistakes are
errors. It's slight.
yeah, mistakes are gonna happen, but it's like just the way they happen. It was like how,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they got to figure it out, man. Lamar,
yeah.
come on, bro.
But what about these Bills going into this AFC Championship, going up against the Chiefs? They, like I said previously, they've had a previous victory over this Chiefs team. So how are we feeling? I mean, James Cook, I feel like could run over that defense, in my opinion. But I feel like it's up to Josh Allen's weapons to really open it up for him.
You talking about the weapons. I'm going to talk a little bit about this defense, and particularly the offensive line as well. This offensive line is really good, but specifically more on the defensive side of the ball. Ed Oliver is making plays everywhere, and he's one of the better interior linemen in the game. AJ Epinesa and Greg Russo, I mean, both of them combined for a sack, and they combined it for 3 tackles for losses. But both of them made their imprint on that game. And DeMar Hamlin, man. Shout out to DeMar Hamlin. He was one of the best
Hey,
players on the field, man.
for a guy who got a lot of flack and a lot of shit talking, I'm glad he got he's all good and everything with his health and everything. But a lot of people were like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
100%.
he's a nobody. Look at him now. That dude is making plays every single game. He's not a nobody.
8 tackles, a sack, QB hit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he was good, man. And this Bills team, they have a lot of talent. And when you got a guy like Josh Allen who can single-handedly carry you through a game, James Cook, I tweeted a few days ago. I just feel like I think I might have even said it like last episode. Like he really is the best running back in the league that no one talks about.
Yeah, he's
James
very
Cook is
underrated.
like that, bro.
Very underrated. I know we both haven't talked about him too. I know you have definitely majority of this year. You have talked about him, but like as in like on any other popular like ESPN or anything like that, James Cook gets no love, and he's in a very integral part of the offense.
100%, man.
But enough of the playoff talk, man. Let's get into the offseason talk, which is my favorite kind of talk. Uh,
Ah,
Bears hire your
ah,
boy. Bears hire your boy. I know the Raiders wanted this man, so don't act like you didn't want
fuck.
him now. Don't act like you didn't want him now. Bears get Ben Johnson. I know how you feel personally about this, but how does this impact the Bears?
Look, this is exactly what the Bears needed. They need an offensive guy to go
Oh yeah,
with Caleb Williams. There's no denying the talent that Caleb Williams has, and he showed flashes this year.
so
But obviously,
flashy.
he also flashed the inconsistencies, right?
Hmm.
Look, to start out with the Bears, right? This team, uh, focusing on the offensive line. This offensive line, awful. Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times this year, which
Terrible.
is most in the league. Now, a part of that is on the offensive line, but also I think a large part of that is Caleb Williams. I think in his head is trying to make the spectacular play all the time. He does hold on
Takes
to the ball a
takes
lot.
takes way too long to get rid of it.
Yeah, and this is in college. You know what I mean? Like he has to get
Hmm.
the ball out faster, and I think bringing in someone like Ben Johnson is going to help that. Right? Look,
Right.
Caleb Williams' QBR was 47 this year. I think when you bring in an offensive guy, it will get better. And
Yeah.
in Detroit with Jared Goff, their bread and butter was play action, right?
Yeah.
They ran play action at such a high level.
Play action will open it up for sure.
100%. But the Bears this past season were 30th in play action. So they're a team that doesn't do a lot of it, but I think it'll be good for Caleb Williams. And the one thing that helps, obviously, that is a good run game. Now, is DeAndre Swift good enough to be your number one back?
No.
I don't know. And obviously, you have to improve the offensive line in that. But I'm just kind of looking at the situation for the Bears. Look, the Bears are projected to have the fourth most cap space, and they have the 10th pick in the draft. For me, they can go three ways: tackle, running back, and defensive tackle. Now, those names: Will Campbell, Kevin
No, no,
Banks.
no. They need to go running back and D tackle. They need to relax on that. I mean, they could take
Yeah, you
Kelvin
want
Banks. I don't give a fuck. But Will Campbell's going to the Niners, buddy. All right.
you talk about Ashton Genty, one of the most underrated running backs, bro.
Yeah. Ba-
Junkins, bro. That
yeah.
dude is explosive,
Yeah.
bro. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying it about the championship game, bro. I've been watching him for some few weeks, bro. He's different, bro. And then obviously, if they want to go interior, because this is a defense that they were not good against around at all. Mason Graham would definitely be my pick as far as the interior of that defense. But look, man, when Ben Johnson was in Detroit, this was a top 10 offense. You know, the
Yeah.
previous
Yeah.
2 seasons, and
Can't deny it at all.
then those 3 seasons, you know, he had been an OC for them. They averaged 28 points per game, which was most in the NFL. So,
Hmm.
and talk about the play action thing. The Lions were ranked first in play action usage at 36%.
There you
So
go.
I think this is the perfect hire for Caleb Williams and this team to give them some creativity. We've seen it with Detroit how linemen are throwing passes, catching touchdowns. It's wide receivers, it's pitchbacks, it's all this kind of crazy stuff that's going on. That creativity, which you know, people are gonna say, you know, is Ben Johnson the next Shanahan? Is he the next McVay? Is he the next LaFleur? I mean, I'm kind of blanking on a few names here. Oh, Kevin O'Connell. Is he the next young, bright offensive mind that, you know, blossoms as a head coach? We'll wait and see, but, you know, the Bears had to go this direction. They couldn't go a defensive guy.
No, I don't think so. You go defensive so many times. I mean, what can you do? But I have all the same thoughts. Kind of took the words right out of my mouth. Great hire, Ben Johnson. You know, you got to have faith in the guy. I mean, he's the top. I feel like he was the top candidate for most teams. But for Caleb,
You
I feel like this could definitely open up the offense. Ben Johnson could maybe teach him how to get it out quicker and get it to his immediate read. And just help the guy out. God damn it, give him, like you said, give him some creativity to this complete boring offense.
Yeah, I'm forgetting it was Shane. Was it Shane Wal? Well, Matt Eberflus. We all know that was a flop. Shane Waldron, their OC. I'm blanking out. They've been so bad. I've forgotten their coaches, to be honest. But no, they need with a talent like Caleb Williams, you need an innovative play caller.
Yeah,
And the defense, right? They actually have some talent on defense. There's rumors, it's not confirmed, but there's a likelihood that they're going to bring in Dennis Allen, to be his defensive coordinator. Now, Dennis Allen as a head coach, absolutely fucking not.
but
But as
strictly
a DC,
DC is
he is
different.
good. He's good. When he was a DC for the Saints under Sean Payton in 2023, this team was third in interceptions. In 2021, they were fourth. in scoring defense, and in 21 they were also first in point of red zone percentage as well. So Dennis Allen knows his defense. He can't coach to save his life,
Yeah,
but as a coordinator, he's legit. So
that is legit. But speaking of another defensive guy who actually got hired today, Jets hire Aaron Glenn. I mean, this is another great hire. What do you expect? I mean, it's another top defensive guy. But how do you think this inflicts him bringing in an OC, how he handles the offense, the quarterback situation? Because this is a defensive guy, and we've seen how some defensive coaches can pan out early.
yeah, well, I think the Jets are in a situation kind of similar to the Raiders, where their quarterback situation is up in the air, but also with these franchises, like they need a culture builder. Aaron Glenn for me falls right into that. You know, I was watching a clip on Twitter about Alex Anzalone, the Lions linebacker. You know how high he spoke of Aaron Glenn. Like he's basically quoting like everything you see in Dan Campbell. That's also Aaron Glenn, and he's saying
Right,
Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell, that both of them are like two of the best coaches he's ever been around. And
right.
Dan Campbell speak high of him. He was like, you know, Aaron Glenn's one of the best human beings I've been around. If nobody wants him, I'll take him back.
Right.
But look, I mean, as a Lions defensive coordinator, right? This year they were top 10 in points allowed this season, but also top 10 in takeaways as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think this Jets team, there's still a lot of talent on the defense side of the ball. Now they have some questions as far as free agency, what's going to happen with DJ Reed,
Yep.
uh,
I would definitely try to
Kinlaw,
sign
one
him
of your
back.
favorite guys.
Oh God.
But this defense has talent, man. Quincy Williams, Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner. As
If
well.
he could stop holding so damn much.
Do they bring back Hassan Reddick? I don't know if that. I
I
don't know how that's going
mean,
to play out.
I think Hassan Reddick's testing free agency anywhere at this point.
Yeah, but there's some nuggets on that Jets defense for sure, and it's not just a few years ago where this defense in 2022 and 2023 was one of the top 3 or 5 defenses in the NFL, and I think his personality, I think the stability that he will bring to this team, I think will get the defense playing back at a high level like they're capable of playing, and
Right.
I think whether Aaron Rodgers stays or goes, I think they'll be able to figure out the quarterback situation where next season, if Aaron does go, I don't think they're going to be that bad.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. No. I just got to see who they fill in there. But no, I agree. I don't think they're going to be as terrible as they were this year because they got too much talent on that team to be terrible.
and Aaron Rodgers, credit to Aaron Rodgers. There were moments last year, there were games that he did play well, specifically to the back end of the season.
It
He
was
did
very much
finish out
back
the
end
season.
though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have to go back with Aaron Rodgers, it's not the worst thing. But
No,
definitely the offensive line. The offensive line needs to get better for sure.
No, but is it any improvement? Like, is it just going to be the same season over again?
I don't know, man. We'll see. But I'm happy for Aaron Glenn, man. He definitely had to work his way up through the rankings for sure. But I think now he's in a situation where, if given time, I think he can build the team in his image. And we'll see, though, because the Jets, you saw how it went down Robert Saleh, man. Hopefully
Straight scapegoated. Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't get scapegoated, bro. If things go bad.
Hopefully not. But that's gonna cap off the show. Football coordinated show. NBA is not doing too hot right now. Ratings are still down. So we're gonna get back to y'all next time. It's been episode 27. Y'all just follow the socials. You know what it is. Caleb, any last words?
Caleb, any last words? Yes, man. I'm always thankful for everybody, man, that tunes in and watches us. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like, dislike, do anything. I don't care.
Dislike.
All of us on our personal socials.
Yes.
But we love just bringing you guys this content on a weekly basis. It's so much fun to talk sports. And I'm excited for the Raiders, man. We brought in our GM, John Spytek, Tom Brady guy,
All right.
Just to cap it off, little thing. It's not a topic, but
just just pick the right person at 6. All right.
Raiders get Mike McCarthy, man. Watch out.
I said Mike
I
McCarthy.
love
Like
y'all though.
yeah. Love y'all. Well, peace out. We'll see y'all next. We'll see y'all next week. All right. Peace out.